Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer and I'm playing Charlemagne. And this is going to be the last video of the series. And if I take a look at the number of clicks, I'm pretty sure most of you won't be too disappointed here. So it goes now into 811 to 815. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty clear Charlemagne has lost the game. The tribal player has won. Theoretically, it could happen that the tribal player does a total victory, but to do that he has to do some serious damage in the Frankish Empire, and I don't think that is possible, but I'm not absolutely sure. So yeah, let's start with this event phase. Okay, that's a 56, so that's going to be a rebellion. Emirat of Córdoba, Asturias, Navarre. Okay. So that was the Emirat. There is no success. Asturias also remains in his hand. Navarre. Okay, so nothing changed here. And stratagem phase. Yeah, most of them he already has, but he could use some military advances, of course. So he gets one for Venice and one for free. Vassalage one, and there we have also a ton now, so we might actually try a vassalage attempt here and a military advance. Okay, I mean, doing a vassalage attempt is definitely tempting. We have a lot here, so why not? I wonder if there is anything I can steal from the Empire. We have also a few special ones here. There are the Ring of Avars, the Frankish General Assembly, and the Crown of Pavia. That Frankish Assembly: Neustria, Burgundy, Gascony, Aquitania, Septima, Provence, Thuringia, Alemanni. That is pretty awesome. Neustria sounds like a tempting target, I guess. Or Burgundy. Yeah, why not Burgundy? So yeah, I'm gonna throw in this Frankish Assembly. So these are then two, and then we need more, because it's very hard to take something from the Empire. It's Christian. There we go. So we gotta subtract 1. Does that make sense? No, we gotta add 1 to the die roll. No, wait a minute here. -1 Empire player making... That's interesting. Actually, we don't have a negative modifier at all. Okay, that's nice. So basically, 5 would be the best we can get. Do we have an espionage? Yeah, we do. Let's see what the other guy has. Okay, so we see they have 2. So that means we have 2. Yeah, let's throw in all these. Actually, it doesn't make a difference if we are here or here. Well, it does. There we would be successful in 2 cases, or in 3 actually. Yeah, okay. So the other guy is going to throw in also 2. This is very important for him, obviously. He wants to hold that area, Burgundy. So that means basically we are now on this 5 table here. And we're going to roll a die. Yeah, that sucked. That's a 1. Now I'm actually considering... Nah, I don't have any reroll or something. So that was really painful. Just a 1. That gives the other guy... And of course they go in the cup. Now that gives the other guy a stratagem. Yeah, that was stupid. No, but we got a few more here. The Crown of Pavia, for example. And these are 4. Well, the Crown of Pavia is not that awesome. Especially if we want to steal troops from these guys. I think I want to try Burgundy again. I mean... We still have 4 here. So there is no reason to keep them actually. I think I want to try it again. He's going to throw in 1. So that brings us then on the 3 table. And let's see what happens. That's a 4. That is enough to steal it, but not to grab it. Okay, that's pretty bad, because now Burgundy is a neutral area. That means that also these units here, they also become neutral. And let's see, what about this army here? Burgundy. Okay. So we have 1 unit here. I think that one is eliminated. But I'm not sure. Maybe not. Maybe these have to go somewhere else. Okay, here's the thing. I decided to change that. I'm not gonna vassalage Burgundy, but instead Neustria. The reason is simple, because Besançon would remain under control of the empire and Lyon is lost anyway. But here we can definitely do some more damage. Bayeux would get lost. These guys here, shit. And also Paris would change to neutral. Tours would actually remain in control of the empire, and so would Reims. But still, I mean, these are simply 2 additional losses, and it would be just a stupid mistake to choose an area where there is so little effect like Burgundy. So they can keep that, but instead Neustria will become neutral. Okay, the tribal player had enough money to buy the cup, so it's a little ridiculous now. And of course now he has the honest coinage again. So if that was now, if there was now no limitation, he could simply throw that in the cup, get all the money, draw it again, throw it in the cup, and so on and so on. So he could now generate unlimited money. But yeah, as I said, I'm only allowed to play that once per turn. We did the levy phase, the treasury phase. I mean, obviously, it doesn't make a lot of sense. The only thing is maybe he can actually destroy the Franks completely so that it is a total victory. And that is maybe possible. I mean, first of all, we're going to activate that army here. That's a big one, and they have now a leader. So they were going to attack Valencia. Okay, that's not bad. Let's see. And let's say we leave these guys. So that is, we don't take these with us, obviously, but the big ones. Okay, that's 18 and 10, so we got 28 points with these guys. That's a lot. 1, 2, 3, and 3 more for the attack makes it 6. Okay. Okay, they got 18, 36, 19, so it's 38. And they can actually triple that, so it's 57, I guess. And these guys have 10, 18, 19, 38 versus 57. That's not great, but they can throw in a military advance. And then it should be on the one-on-one table, I guess. They should now have... yeah, it's on the one-on-one table. So let's see. Oh boy. That was a total loss, so these guys are all killed, which is painful. Because that leaves now the Emirat of Cordoba open for this army here. And it is, of course, a marker for this guy here. So I'm going to activate these guys here in Asturias. Okay. That is a 6 plus 12. So they have 18 points. Let's see. 1, 2, that is a 6, and then they're gonna pay 3 more. That brings them to 9, and they're gonna attack here in Bayonne. And this is probably also on the one-on-one. Not really, no, it's actually on the 2-to-1. table. Oh boy, this is rolling poorly now. That's a bloodbath. Still, it's good enough to take the city. And these guys are sitting now here. Okay, now we're going to activate here the army from Byzantium. They're going to march west and try to destroy as much as possible here. So let's hope for a high roll. Okay, that's not bad. That's 8, so we got 20 points here. Is that true? Actually, that's even more. That's 26. So let's first, I'm going to plunder Lyon. Okay, that's good enough. So this thing is destroyed. And then we're going to move on. That's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And attacking. So 2 for the plunder. And now we got to pay 9. And that's obviously not a big deal. 4-to-1 table. That's a 2. That's not too great. I guess that's gonna be... No, that's a defender defeated. So he loses 1 and has to retreat. But that actually I think he has to retreat 2 spaces. Yeah. So he's gonna move here, I guess. Okay. There we are. And then I'm going to move in there. 1, 2, 3. Do a plunder action. And that was a success. And the thing is destroyed. And we get another... Yeah, I'm going to... Oh, look at that. We've got a few more pillage markers here. That's neat. I didn't see that yet. Okay. We're going to continue. 1, 2. And attack. So that's 5 more points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Poitiers. Holy shit. All these poor guys. Okay, yeah, of course they were slaughtered. Gonna move in, do a plunder action. Oops. Yeah, okay. I mean, this is all not terribly interesting anymore, obviously. But you can see how all these points go away from the Frankish player. Now we got 4 points left. Is that enough? I mean, we can at least attack here, but that would not be an... Whoa, now I see that. That is actually Charlemagne. Oh, that's kind of cool. Let's go for it. So we're gonna move here. And maybe we can kill Charlemagne. He cannot retreat because he's not faster than we are. So that would be definitely fun. Okay, so we got here 25 points. We can double that, so it's 50. Charlemagne has only 7 points, but he can triple that. No, that's not true. He can actually quadruple that. So... that's 42. However, I'm going to throw in a military advance. So does he. But I'm going to play a treachery. So it's not going to happen. Okay, now I have I'm either on the 1.5 table or on the 2-to-1 table. I gotta calculate that through again. So I'm on the 1.5 table here. It's not easy to kill, and we need actually a 6. So yeah, I mean, it's very unlikely that we can do that. But hey, maybe we're lucky. That wasn't possible here. Do we have the option to reroll that? No, actually we don't. He has the option to do it. So yeah, he wasn't killed. That means, but still the defender was destroyed. But Charlemagne can retreat. So he moves here. And now he's more or less safe, because with a value of 24, only a single leader can actually fight him, and then he can triple his strength. I mean, it is still possible that a leader can kill him in man-to-man combat, basically, but it's very unlikely. However, we can activate, let's see, I want to activate someone to move to Tours so that we can take that area. But these are all neutral troops, so we cannot take them. The guy in Brittany, he's cut off. It's not going to be possible here. So I don't think that's possible. That's a shame. I don't have enough movement points to capture Tours. That kind of sucks. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, let's kick these guys here. Let's kick them off. They want to attack Aachen, I guess. Oh, that's not too great. That's just 14 points. So that's... shit. Damn it. Okay, the Danes here. Okay, so it's not going to be easy. But maybe they can do it. So let's see, we got 2, 3, 4, 6, and then they got to spend 3 for the attack. So they got then 5 points left, which is enough to plunder Aachen. And it's not over. Aachen has a strength of 12. But okay, I mean, that is 18, 19, 38. So that's on the 3-to-1 table. And that is a victory. So they got a retreat and 2 of them are dead. And then we move into Aachen and plunder that. We got the Saxons here in Erfurt. Maybe they can... I don't know if they can make it to Reims. I mean, there's a leader, but that doesn't help a lot. Maybe they can make it, depending on what we roll. Wow, that's a 6. That's a lot. They don't have a leader, but they have now 18 movement points. So let's say they leave 1 behind. So it's 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. Shit. It's not that easy. I gotta find another way, because otherwise this guy is blocking the way. So I gotta move in between these guys. I can move through here maybe. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, actually 12. And then 15 And then it's enough to take out Reims. Awesome, I can even move in there if I want to. Okay, that's a 4. Now let's see, these guys have a strength of 3. They can triple that, so they are at 9. I have a strength of 18. Yeah, so it's exactly on the 2-to-1 table. I rolled a 4. So they are defeated. And yeah, fuck it. The leader can retreat. They are gone. And I move into the space and just take it. Okay, fine. So that was Austrasia. Okay. Yeah, it's looking very, very bad for... I mean, it's it's over. Okay, there's a pillage marker here. Okay. We got even more guys. We have here the Avars. They have a leader. I don't know, I mean... Actually, that defeat gives us a marker here. Another military advance. I cannot take Besançon. That's too hard, too heavily defeated. Let's see what I roll. That's only a 1, so I'm pretty sure that's not going to be enough. I got 20 here with these guys. That's a lot. Yeah, but is it enough to actually get somewhere? Maybe here to Marseille. If I take the passes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. That's not quite enough. Maybe if I move through the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 17, 18. No. If I had rolled a little better, I could have done it. But I don't have enough points to actually destroy something anymore. Okay, I'm done with the tribal player. Nothing else happens here. I have placed the Slavonics here on the hills, so that gives them also a terrain advantage. And yeah, there's nothing more to gain here, just very few cities. I don't know, I mean, let's see, there is now Nantes, Bordeaux, Besançon, and Marseille. That's it. That's all that's left. And Rennes up here. You know, I might actually consider activating these suckers. Yeah, why not? Maybe I'm lucky. I mean, it's tough, but I could do it. Let's give it a shot here. Maybe I can take out Rennes. So we got enough movement points to move. Well, let's take these guys here. Yeah, they're even better. So we got enough movement points to move here and to attack. So we got 12. And this guy has only 6. Well, actually, that's not quite true. He's got 9. But that's on the 1.5 to 1 table. And you know what? I'm going to throw a military advance in. So it's on the 2 to 1 table. And that is enough to defeat them. So he's got to retreat somewhere. I don't know. I mean, could retreat here. And then we're going to move here into Rennes. And I might... Oh, wait a minute. This is not possible. These are not my troops. These are neutral ones. They are from Neustria. I was a little too fast here. Okay, so that's not gonna happen. And I mean, I could actually consider taking this guy here, but I guess he's just too weak. But you know what? Hey, let's go for it anyway. He tries it. There's not a lot to lose. So we have 6. He's got 9. But if I throw in the military advance, I'm on the one-on-one table. So let's see. Maybe we're lucky. Okay, we're not. So I'm pretty sure I'm killed here. Yeah, definitely. And there goes the guy from Brittany, but that's okay. And that gives the Empire 1 stratagem. Okay, yeah, now it's the Empire player, and then we're done with this disaster. That's actually funny. I plundered all these areas here. Did I? No, I didn't. I plundered here in Aquitania. Yeah, I thought I plundered in Neustria and it wouldn't help anything. But that's actually not true. I plundered here in Aquitania. Okay, so let's see. That is a 21. So we have trade flourishes. Each player rolls a die and receives a number of treasury points equal to the result. Okay, fine. I'm going to be back in the Empire operations phase and see the last, I don't know, 2 or 3 actions that Charlemagne will do. Okay, now here's what's going to happen. We're going to probably see a few attacks here and there. This guy, for example, he's going to move down here, grab Barcelona. You know, just some last points, grabbing a few points so that it's not a total loss. But I don't know, we can activate these guys here in Valencia. Okay. So they can then move here, do an attack. I mean, that's going to be enough to take that city, maybe Zaragoza, and maybe move back then, I guess. That should be enough. 12, so we had 24. Now that's going to be enough to make that round here. So we're going to do the attack first. And they have an 8, we have 18, 19, so it's 38 versus 8. That is the 3-to-1 table, isn't it? Damn it, I can't calculate anymore. No, that's the 4-to-1 table. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's enough to kill at least one of these guys, and the other has to retreat. But he cannot retreat in a zone of control, nor across the river, so he's dead. So that allows him to move here. Then we're going to drop one guy here, move around like that, drop another guy here, and then move back and hold Valencia. So at least we have now a few points here. That's something. And it's obvious an advantage to be the last player. You can do some desperate stuff and don't have to care about the consequences anymore. So this guy is active, is going to move in there. We got 24 against 18 or 21. So that's on the one-on-one table. And actually I think I'm going to throw in a military advance here. And I might do the same actually, and maybe play even a treachery. So we'll see. It's then on the 1.5-to-1 table in favor of the Empire player. And that's not even that great. That's a bloodbath. So it is enough to take the city, but just like that. And then this guy is going to move in here. So yeah, we have a few more points here too. Okay, these two guys here, they want to take Paris. So basically they move in here. And that's looking pretty good. He's got 12. The other guy has only 4. So that is the 3-to-1 table. That's definitely enough to take Paris. And that's it here. That gives the empire even 2 more generals. Maybe we can use these guys somewhere, but you know, it's very unlikely. I mean, maybe actually here. I think we can grab a city there too. And maybe even down there. But, I don't think that makes a lot of sense actually. Not that anything would make sense here. We could do that. Maybe we can capture Bayeux. It's kind of strange, but hey, why not? Let's do that. How many are in there? 8? Okay, I mean we definitely have more here, right? Okay, so we got 20 movement points. It's 2, 3, 4, so 7 more. Allows us the attack. These guys have 8, 16. I've got 12, 13, so it's 26 versus 16. That's the 1.5 to 1 table. I think I want to throw in a military advance. So then it's the 1-on-1 table. That is definitely a defeat. That gives him, holy moly. Okay, we got basically now 2 more options. This is this army here. They're gonna move into Bavaria, trying to capture a few cities there. So first we move, let's see what we have here. Okay, that's 10 then. Well, we might actually leave these guys. Oh, we'll take them with us, why not? Okay, we don't have a leader, I'm afraid. So we have 16 points. We did 2, 5. We're gonna attack Regensburg, so that's 12. I got 14. So let's simply roll a die here. Oh, that's not looking good. Oops. So I'm pretty sure we are here defeated and lose, I think, at least half of it. So that means these guys are destroyed. And that's pretty much it for this guy. He's not going to try another attack. That's definitely pointless. Final actions now. We got this army down here. That one is a little stronger. That makes sense to move actually. So we move them away. We move these guys into Besançon. I'm going to move these guys into Lombardy, I guess. Trying to take a few cities here. There is not a lot else to capture, so that will be my target. Let's see what we have. We have a 10 here. So actually that's going to be 22 points overall. And yeah, let's move on here. I think we're going to take the pass here. So it's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we pay 3 more to attack, well, maybe not exactly Genoa. These are pretty much the strongest. Let's move here, 8, and then we attack Milano. So that means we lose 11 points here. So Milano has 8 guys in there, makes it 16. And we have a pretty strong army here. Actually a very strong army. That's 36, 72 versus 16. Yes, so that's probably a 4-to-1, right? Pretty sure it is. Oh, that wasn't great. But it's still a defender defeated, so he retreats 2 spaces. and Milano is fallen. Okay, we're gonna leave one guy behind, and we're gonna continue moving. So it's then 1, 2. We spend another 3 points to attack Verona. So 5 more points are gone. That brings us then to 6. And that's definitely a... Okay, but that's a bloodbath. Okay. So we're gonna drop 1 unit here and then continue, and we might be able to capture Venice actually. Another 2, and yeah, that should be possible. So this is just 2. We have 12, 20. Yeah, we have overall... that's 13, 26. The guy has only 4. Holy shit, that wasn't that great either, but it's still good enough. So this guy is killed. We're gonna move in there, and that's it. And at least we took a few points from that. I mean, we get the civilization marker. So overall, the last turn was kind of successful for the Empire player, but basically simply because of the fact that he hadn't to take care of any consequences. You know, he just could leave everywhere, just single guy or something, and that's more or less it. So I really got to say thank you to you guys who watched that shit that happened in the last 40 minutes or in the last hour. It was basically completely ridiculous, just moving some pieces on the board. But I just wanted to play it out. I mean, I invested quite a bit of time here, and I wanted to play the game out. It's that simple. So let's do so now, some counting here. I mean, it's obvious that the Empire has lost the game. It is a pretty big disaster. Neustria is lost, and I mean, compared to the beginning, what actually changed? I think the only thing that changed was the loss of Neustria and of Thuringia, and that's it. But that is obviously not enough. I mean, Charlemagne wants to gain areas and not to lose them. So we have here Valencia, Tortosa, Barcelona, Zaragoza. That's not so bad. I mean, 4 points, 5 points, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, that's all shit. 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, I mean, these are 17 points just for the castles. Okay, now let's add the levy value for the castles and also for the civilization points. Let's add the levy value of the controlled areas. So that's 3. And I'm going to write that down then. Okay, so here's the result. Charlemagne controls 15 castles, gives him 15 points. He controls 2 centers of civilization, 2 more points. He controls areas that are worth 11 levy points, and there are 6 Christian areas on the board. Overall, that gives him 34 points. And let's see what that means. Yeah, that's a tribal regional victory. So, I mean, I guess to win that as a tribal player totally, you have to wipe out Charlemagne completely. That's obviously not so easy, simply because you cannot get such massive armies as the Empire player can, because you cannot combine your units from different areas, but the Empire player can do it. And therefore, you are always limited by the counter mix of the single areas here. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the game. Now, it's hard to say. I mean, first of all, I think components are good for a magazine game. The map is really beautiful. It really is. The chits are fine. Problem is they're not enough there. And especially with these pillage markers. I mean, okay, if you use them, maybe there are enough. I mean, we didn't really have a problem. The main problem is this thing with the control markers here. If you use them, you're supposed to place them here. But, I mean, you can see they are definitely too big. So if you want to mark all that, if it's Frankish or neutral or tribal, there's going to be a mess here. And therefore, you have to come up with some other solution. For me, the discs work perfect. So I think that's fine. So there should not be too much complaint here. And it's a magazine game, so therefore, I think we really can be happy here. There's definitely an interesting idea in the game, that very asymmetrical play, that one player wants to preserve his empire, expand Christianity, and the other player is basically just interested in destruction. And that's all. He doesn't even want to score points. His goal is simply to prevent the other guy from scoring points, and he can do that by finding some weakness, pillaging, destroying, and then going away, trying to hide in a castle, and then move out again, pillage some other castles, go back, things like that. So, and that's an interesting thing, while the other guy is more building something up, and on the other hand, you have this destruction thing going on. The fact that the tribal player has these very, very unreliable allies. I mean, just by the way, it is possible that the allies of of Charlemagne also revolt. Neustria, Aquitania, and so these guys can also revolt, but it is more unlikely, and there are also modifiers and so on. So it's pretty unlikely that this will happen, but it is not impossible. But for the tribal player, it is harder to keep his allies because of the modifiers and so on. So the charts work that way, that it is more likely for the tribal player to lose the allies than it is actually for Charlemagne. So in a way, it feels like this is an interesting simulation of the political situation at that time. You have a lot of political chaos and yeah, all these different single tribes. Everybody's kind of trying to do what is in his interest and trying to grab a piece of the Frankish Empire. And on the other hand, this kind of more or less stable Frankish union that tries to expand and preserve what they have achieved, and also to expand Christianity here. And that is an interesting concept, and I think kind of an interesting simulation here. But there's also a problem in that, and there is a lot of randomness in the game. Not only in the battles, I mean, the bigger the armies get, the harder it becomes to get really predictable results. But also in this ally thing, you know, that you can lose your allies basically every turn, and especially for the tribal player. And that makes it very hard to come up with a long-term strategy. Also for the Empire player, by the way, because if he builds some kind of long-term strategy and say, okay, I want to attack the tribal player here in Lombardy and grab all these all these castles, for example, then if Lombardy becomes neutral, it might not be longer in the interest of the empire to attack Lombardy, because if they do it, then they will switch to the tribal player again. And there are always changing threats to the empire, so it's more some kind of reactive gaming. It's very hard to come up with your own plans and strategies, because there's so many completely unpredictable threats often that you always have to react. You have only a few big armies, because it's very hard to provision your armies. This is pretty expensive, so you only have 2 or 3 maybe, and you're usually busy to just fighting off the enemy. So coming up with a good plan to expand or something is very, very hard in this situation, if not even impossible, simply because of that randomness. And that leads you to the point that I think there is very little decision making in the game. For the tribal player, the tactic is pretty obvious. He tries to find simply some weak spot in the empire and some poorly guarded castle or something, moves in there and either plunders it, or if he has a good chance to hold it, then, well, he just stays there. But that's the main thing, you know, you try to find weakly guarded castles, move in, plunder it, and find then a spot to hide. And for the empire player, yeah, it's not much. You just try to fight off these invaders, and that's more or less it. You also have very limited options. I mean, there is this kind of idea with the vassalage and the missionary thing baked in, but mainly that makes sense for the empire player, which is thematically probably correct. The tribal player is doing better in defending these missionary and vassalage attempts. At least that's what I think. Might be wrong here, I'm not sure about that. But that leaves the tribal player with less decisions again, and so it's mainly the empire who has the initiative when it comes to that aspect of the game. And of course there's also a ton of luck involved. We've seen that there were actually not too many successful vassalage attempts or missionary attempts. I think we've only seen 1 or 2 successful missionary attempts, and yeah, maybe that many vassalage attempts. These were very little, but okay, I mean, sometimes the dice can simply make a game look worse than it actually is. But yeah, In addition to that, you've got that point when it's pretty clear that you've lost. I mean, here it was probably maybe even at the half of the game or so, it was kind of clear that the Empire could not win that game anymore. He could try to hold on to a better result or something, and but really winning the game was no longer possible. So if you play that multiplayer, I think it can become really frustrating for one side after a while, and it's a long game, so I think that is an aspect which is even better solitaire than actually multiplayer. Overall, I think we can say that what makes this game interesting is the theme. There is no doubt. I think there is maybe no other game out there that covers this specific time period in that scale, you know, and yeah, that makes that game special, and that's definitely the reason why I want to keep that game and maybe also play it sometime again. And I think the game is not a bad simulation, but the gameplay itself is not that great. Little decision making, lots of randomness, and yeah, overall, I don't know. But well, yeah, what can I say? Let's you've seen it, and I had definitely more enjoyable experiences than that one. But on the other hand, I've also played at least a few games that were definitely worse. Okay, hope to see you on my next video or on lonesomegamer.com. Bye.